Alrighty, so today we're going to be looking at buying a car, and often we're going to have a look at how these advertisements can try and trick you into having a think about it. So this is a hot rod, looks like some little ugly beetle thing with flames on it. I'm sure it goes very fast. So we just want to answer some questions about it. So you can see it's got $23,899 drive away. So if you want to buy it right now, you just have to pay $23,899. Or alternatively, you can just pay $93 per week. But it's got this little asterisk next to it, which says that based on a 20% deposit, 60 months repayment of $403 and a balloon payment of $5,000. So let's unpack all of that for a minute. So if you want to buy a big purchase, let's say a car, well, we're going to break the car into little pieces. The first part is that you have to pay a deposit straight up. So there's no options about that. Then you need to make regular payments. And then usually what happens is that near the end, say we started with a $25,000 car, near the end, maybe your loan's now only worth $5,000. The expectation is that over this time you've been building it up to that money so you can make what's called a balloon payment. And a balloon payment is a payment that takes you down to zero. So the balloon payment is the final payment that takes it out. So your deposit, maybe you have to pay $5,000 straight up. So currently we've got $20,000 left. And then you have to make regular repayments. And so that takes off $15,000 over a long time. And we're just left with $5,000 left. And then at the very end, you have to finish off the whole loan in one go, similar to a deposit, but at the end rather than the beginning. And deposits are usually a percentage based on the starting cost. And the balloon payment is usually to do with a fixed amount, but it can also be a percentage of the starting cost. So let's have a look. So Edgar is intrigued by hot rod cars and wants to buy one on finance. And so he's going to be looking at the not buying it in one go. So calculate the deposit required. Well, the deposit is based on 20%. Okay? So 20% of the initial cost, which is $23,899. So to work that out, it's 20 over 100 multiplied by 23,899. So the deposit will be $4,779.80. So that's the deposit. So the next part says calculate the total repayments. Alrighty. So for the total repayments, well, it says that the 60 monthly repayments of $403. So that's going to be the repayment. So for the repayments, it's just going to be $403 times by 60 for each of the months, which is equal to $24,180. Alrighty. So far we've spent $4,000 as the deposit, $24,000 as the repayments, and then it says calculate the total cost that Edgar must pay if paying for the car over 60 months. Well, we have to pay this, but it also says we need to pay the balloon cost, and the balloon cost is $5,000, so that needs to be added in. So the total cost is going to be the deposit, $4,779.80, plus the repayments, $24,180, plus the balloon payment of $5,000, which happens all at once at the end, which is $33,959.80. So that's the amount that you have to pay. So how much extra will Edgar pay if he buys on finance rather than with cash? So if he pays with cash, he only has to pay $23,000, and yet if he's paying with finance, he's paying an extra $10,000. And this is often how they get you. Although $93 per week sounds great on paper, very often when you include all of the extra payments and all of these deposits and these balloon payments and everything else, often the actual cost that you end up spending is going to be a lot more than buying it outright. So the difference is just the difference between them. So let's take the bigger one, $33,959.80, subtract off what he could have paid, which was just $23,899, which is equal to, like I said, about $10,060.80. So he's paying about $10,000 more than what he could have. So what is the equivalent flat rate, simple interest rate charged on the amount owed? Okay, so since this is the extra, that's like our capital I interest. So the interest is $10,060.80. Our principal, well, that's just the starting cost, $23,899. We know the time amount, and is equal to 60 months, which is the equivalent of 60 over 12 years. And so then the question is, what's the interest rate? So using simple interest, I is equal to PIN. The interest is $10,060.80. The principal is $23,899. The interest rate we don't know, so times I, and times the number of years, which is 60 over 12. Some of you might know 60 over 12 is just 5 years, but I'm just going to leave it as 60 over 12. Now, we just need to get I by itself, so let's divide both sides by 23,899, which leaves us on the left-hand side with, on the right-hand side with I times 60 over 12, and on the left-hand side we get 0.42097. I'm keeping a lot of decimal places here because I know that I want to round at the end. Next, we're going to divide both sides by the fraction. So divide both sides by 60 over 12. And that means on the right-hand side, I'm just left with I. And on the left-hand side, I'm left with 0.0842 after rounding. But as a percentage, that would be 8.42% per annum. So the rate that we're actually charged at is 8%, but nowhere on this sign is it actually clear that we're paying 8% per year, more than what it is. And you can see 8% per year over those 5 years, the 60 months, is going to add up to $10,000. You can imagine if they just snuck that up a little bit, you might not notice anything different, and yet you would be paying a lot more. Alrighty, so there's a little bit on how to buy a car, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.